Hey, I'm live. Nice. You will be settling in. Hopefully, you've been to jollyrogerukulele.com to pick up today's lesson plan. It's Frère Jacques, and tomorrow, I'm going to go post that on the website very quickly. And it looks like we'll start in about 3 or 4 minutes. So if you're catching the recording of this, just fast forward that far, and everything will get hunky-dory real fast in your life. Update. And then we wait. And then it says view page. Should come up just beautiful. And then everybody will come rushing in after their busy holiday weekend to play ukulele, hopefully. See, we'll find, oh, look at that goofy photo of me. Eesh. Why did you click on this link? All right, I'm in. And Lynn is in. All right, we don't need anybody else. We've got the right people here. Lynn and I. All right. Lynn, how was your weekend? Did everything go smooth? Sorry, you're probably hearing a bunch of rattling around. I'm adjusting my microphones. We had a pretty quiet holiday, except I'm president of the condo, and of course there's always some babysitting to be done whenever it's amateur hour. Let's see. Sandy, welcome in. Sound is good. That's helpful. Thank you very much. Lynn says we have a thunderstorm coming. I might have. Yeah, some of these in Denver, when they come once in a while, man, I just don't want to be near anything electronic or any windows. Glad you had a good weekend. Stayed safe. Good. Michael Burke is here. Hey, Burke, what's going on? Glad you're here. We like you way better than Michael anyway. So getting ready to start all over fresh today, which is more Frère Jacques. In case you were running short on Frère Jacques, I'm going to tackle that one more time. And then we move on to tomorrow. Those of you guys that take a look at that piece of sheet music, you want that to be easy, right? That's a fun little song, and it's just not. So that'll give us a little bit of a run for our money today, but we'll be fine. We're getting where we know how to do this pretty well. I'm looking for Frère Jacques on my list here. Where'd it go? There he is. Poor brother John, always asleep. Hopefully we'll have a couple new people today, too. Let's see. Renee, checking in from Lakewood. Hope we had a good holiday weekend. Carol just found the orchestra Star Wars performance on YouTube. Looks like fun. You know, it's so funny. We really had a nice time putting that Star Wars piece together. It's by no means in my head one of our best pieces or the most important or, groundbreaking stuff or whatever, but we just loved doing it. And Debbie's arrangement of that was just really, really nice. And we've, over the years, used it for different things and different parts of it. And that recording gets by far the most hits on YouTube in terms of people's interest in it. And I think the nice part about those recordings, even though they're not necessarily great recordings, they at least give you a sense of what's possible, right? And what we're trying to get accomplished. So thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. Evelyn. Oh, you're welcome, Ellen. Ellen, I got to tell you, I've been meaning to write you back. I've got you on my email list, and I was, with email, I go through the things that are on fire first, and then I'll get down to the things that I just wanted to talk about in more detail with people, and those seem to get pushed off a little bit. But I went through a bunch of your blog, Evelyn. Holy moly, you guys are really living life the right way. It's you may want to share it here on the thing. It's she's been keeping this blog since, I don't know, 10 years or more, and just all of her travels all over the world, her and her husband, just really in good photography, really pleasant just to sit and flip through. I don't remember how many pages there were, 59 or something, but had a really good time peeking into your life, Evelyn. So thanks for sharing that blog. Kat, you here? Oh, Rob is here. And daughter Claire just finished her master's in flute performance, home for a visit. Well, Rob, Claire, welcome. We have a lot to talk about, Kat. I don't know if you know, but that girl's a handful, and we're going to need you guys to sit her down and straighten her out a little bit. Let's see, master's degree in flute. Elizabeth, who logs in here and may or may not be in today, she's also a flautist. And so congratulations on your master's degree. You're about to have your what do? We take everything that's great about music and we put it in a ukulele. So it's a mixed blessing. Let's put it that way. Well, glad you guys are here, and thank you for putting up with Kat while she's been learning ukulele, and hopefully you guys got a ukulele in your hands. All right. Who else is logging in here? Linda's in again every day, right? Gary and Diane are here with Gary with new strings. Gary and Diane put strings on the weekend. Excellent. Phyllis in from Canada. Pauline checking in from the Bay Area. Nice weather in the Bay Area. See, this is what's the problem with our world today. It's supposed to be foggy and 59 every single day in the summer in the Bay Area. Now it's nice and sunny there, and I don't know, world's falling apart. But good for you. Glad you're having good weather. The Q is in. Mike is in. Yeah, we're. I think it's 7,000 degrees Kelvin outside. I don't know. I walked in earlier and there's a bunch of stairs I got to crawl to get to the mezzanine of beautiful downtown historic Grant Avenue Theater in downtown Denver. So there's all these stairs I got to climb to get up here. And by the time I got up here, I was like, not with this weather. Red is in. Wow, please. Oh, yeah. Red, if she doesn't share the blog, I'll share it with you. I know the link. Linda in also from Northern California. Good to see you. Looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be tougher than I want it to be, but we'll be fine. We'll do fine. Christine in from Bozeman. Fran, happy Monday. The secret way to play that. You mean 114 chord? I don't know. There is one chord in there. I know which one you're talking about. That was not very fun to play. We'll figure it out. Let's see. 82 degrees with a light breeze here. Oh, see, that's perfect. That's exactly what you want. All right, guys. Well, it's 104. We're going to head and get started. Patty and Valerie in from steamy Chicago. Yeah, I saw the weather report for Chicago. I'll take our 90 over your 90 any day, right? I think we're 95 today, something like that, and you're probably up there. It looked like you guys were going to get roasted. A hot day in Chicago with all out humidity. Oh, goodness. Terrifying. All right, let's get started. So a bunch of you may be brand new today. A bunch of you have been around a while. Let me tell you how you approach Frère Jacques if you're brand new, and how you approach it if you've been around a while. If you are brand new, your job is just to hold on tight, okay? I'm going to give you a basic overview of chords and an in-depth overview of how to read tablature. We're going to do it in about 10 or 15 minutes. And by the time you walk out of here with this one single sheet of paper, you will know how to play ukulele at a level that 90% of ukulele players never get to. Okay, so we're going to take you up to the top 10% right off the bat. Second thing, if you've been around a while and you're like, oh God, Gary and his Frère Jacques, what the heck is going on? I can't listen to it one more time. One, don't listen, right? No, don't do that. You're thinking, here's what you're thinking. I'm playing in the top 10% of all ukulele players in the world. I have a certain obligation to pass this on to the next person. So take a minute just to sit back, listen, and find out how I go about doing it, because you're going to have a granddaughter or a niece or a nephew or the boy next door or a grandpa down the street who wants to learn how to play ukulele. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to do exactly the same thing I've been doing for a decade now. You're going to take this one goofy little sheet of paper, put it down in front of them, talk to them about a ukulele, get them playing Frère Jacques. They're going to come back tomorrow, probably by the end of the day, and say, what else you got? Okay. And that's what we're after. Okay. So that's what we're working on today. If you've been around a while, you can play Frère Jacques. I know that, right? That's not at all important. What is important is that you can then share that with the next person. Okay. And ukuleles are cheap. Buy a couple to leave around your house. And when somebody says, oh, you play ukulele? I always wanted to learn how to do that. You're like, sit down. Here we go. All right. Let's see. So, Fran is 98 in Highland, California. Yeah, the 114 chord. I know. Don't look at stuff in advance. I don't remember. I remember being sad that I had to put that in there. I did have a wonderful 4th. Thanks for being here, Kathy. Haven't seen you in a little while. Good to have you. Lindy is back to a normal schedule. Well, normal schedule means that you have from what this hour of your calendar cleared out for the rest of your life so that you can just play ukulele every day. And Jennifer's back in. Hey, Jennifer. I am going to get that email responded to, Jennifer. I promise. All right. Let's talk about Frère Jacques. Let's talk about ukulele. So this is your ukulele. This is going to be the correct answer for you making music. Unless you have a master's degree in flute, then that's the correct answer. But this is the second correct answer. We're going to learn to play this without singing and with singing, and so you are going to decide what you're up to. If you're into singing, this is a perfectly lovely instrument. Most people, that's what they do with it. Okay. The problem with that is it's definitely a cul-de-sac in the highway of music, and when you learn to strum and sing this thing, you think you've got it all, and you get stuck in that cul-de-sac, and you can die in that cul-de-sac. What you want to do is learn to play everything on this instrument in all of its different ways, and I'm going to teach you at least 2 or 3 ways to play this one particular song. We want to be able to approach music in lots and lots of different ways, lots of different layers in order to make to have the full toolbox of stuff that we can do. So I'm going to teach you how to do that on this. First things you need to know is there is only one rule in ukulele. There's one rule, and this is a rule. Okay, if you break it, the ukulele police come and they break down your door and they punch you in the face. This is your left thumb. Your left thumb goes on the back of the neck, right there. It's going to slide right up and down the back of the neck. From the front of the ukulele, I am never going to see your thumb. I am never under any circumstance going to see your thumb. When you watch guitar players, they got them up here, they got them over here. They're doing this kind of stuff. That's not us, okay? And it shouldn't be guitar players either, by the way, unless you're an electric guitar player. We don't need to see your thumb. It looks ugly, and if I see your thumb, it makes all the other stuff you have to do with your other hand more difficult. So thumb is down here. That's the rule. Okay, and your thumb is going to hang out wherever your middle finger ends up along the fretboard here. That's where your thumb's going to be. So it's always going to be hanging out right behind your middle finger. Okay, that's the only rule. Everything else is negotiable. All right, now let's talk about the instrument as a whole. There's 2 sets of numbers you have to learn. Okay, the first is the string on the top is string number 4. We'd love that to be number 1, but it's not. String on the top is number 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1. Okay, so 1 is on the bottom. I'm going to say this now. You're going to forget it in a couple of minutes, and then you're going to be confused. Okay, so try to remember string number 1 is on the bottom. Okay, the other set of numbers you got to know is the numbers of these guys. Okay, so your fret is not the wire, but the space between the wires. Okay, these are the frets. Okay, the wire is called a fret wire. And so that's your frets. Okay, so this is fret number 1, and it's an upside down elevator. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something super exciting happens at fret 5. You get a dot. Some of you will have dots on the side of your ukulele, and those are actually super handy. And when I get a ukulele and it doesn't have those dots, I go ahead and put them on, because you can buy little things to put them on there, or just even a piece of tape or a smiley face sticker or something. I need them on 5 and 7 for sure. But so you've got a dot on 5, you got a dot down here on 7, you got a dot on 10. And then sometimes they put fancy dots on 12. Okay, so then you have dots on 12. I have some extra frets on here. You may or may not have those. If you have a soprano size ukulele, they usually end at 12. You don't need any of these. These are for show. Okay, these are for people who have much higher quality ukuleles than you probably do, and way higher skill sets than I have in order to play these notes. So we just don't need them. Okay, they're there to help hold the neck on. Okay, so you need 12 frets, yet you don't need any of these extras. All right, those are your fret numbers. Those are your string numbers. Your thumb goes here. We're doing good so far, I hope, right? Let's see. Sandy's report give us 2 granddaughters and I worked up the ensemble for our family and played Simple Gifts and Daisy Bell on the board. Yay! So we're talking in ensemble playing. We'll talk about that in just a second. Now, quick discussion about right-handedness and left-handedness. If you are a lefty, this is not like the scissors, okay? You really should play right-handed, which means that the fretboard is in your left hand over here, and your right hand is over the hole like this, okay? Yes, I know lefties. It does feel a little bit more comfortable initially to play it this way, but you don't want to do that. And there's two reasons why. Number one, you got to learn special skills with both hands, no matter which direction you're going. So you might as well use your stronger hand, your hand that has got more skills over here on left, because in the beginning, you got a huge advantage over us right-handers by having your left hand be in charge of chords. And then have your right hand here. That's reason number one. Reason number two is a bit more practical. Reason number two is nobody, and I mean nobody except me has any books for left-handed ukulele players. The couple that I have run across over the years were abysmal, and the real problem is that the only significant difference between left-handed ukulele sheet music and right-handed ukulele sheet music is that the chord grids are going to be the mirror image. Okay, and truthfully, that is actually helpful for you lefties. That if you see the chord grid and your brain has to, whatever wiring is in your brain, it's easier for you if you see the mirror image of that. However, nobody publishes that kind of stuff. I did a one booklet for I had a left-handed activist in my classroom, which I loved, and we went through and we really studied about what things would need to change to make it left-hand friendly and to be able to play a left-handed ukulele. And that was it. It was just the chords. Well, I can give those to you. The problem is nobody else is going to give those to you. Okay, and so it's really a smart idea. Just play right-handed. Just get used to it. You've got an advantage in the beginning, and then in the beginning, all of us feel like we've got just hamburger on the end of our hands. This is very complicated for the first couple of weeks. And so it doesn't necessarily matter which hand you use it from. I'm just saying from a practical standpoint, you're going to want to play right-handed, even if you're a lefty. Okay. Having said that, don't send me hate mail. I worked with a left-handed activist. We agreed it's probably better to learn right-handed. But if you insist on learning left-handed, I'm probably the only one who's going to give you any type of resources to do that with. And the rest of the world is going to expect you to see the regular chord grids. Okay. All right. Let's play. Get your ukulele in playing position. The back of this sits up against your body. It doesn't sit up like this or down here. Okay, sits up against your body. Okay, ladies, I know, right? Just do it. Okay, and then this neck here does not go down here. It does not go horizontal. It goes way up here, 45 to 60 degree angle. That's where I want your ukulele. That way, when you're putting your thumb in there, you get these nice, beautiful round fingers here. That's exactly what we're looking for. And then this hand has the ability to do whatever it needs to do. We're going to teach it all sorts of cool stuff. And it's sitting here at a nice, easy, comfy angle so that you can play. Here's one thing just to pay attention to. I have a tendency to get a little chicken wingy sometimes. See, what you really want is for your hand just to be able to drop straight down, come back up, drops in here right on the top of the fretboard, and it's lovely. Okay? All right. Now, hey, Judy, happy Monday to you. Now, let's go through the Frère Jacques. We're holding it correctly. We got it in here. I forgot to mention, and I should mention, we're tuning is George Clooney Eats Apples. If you were here locally in my class, we would go through a whole big deal about tuning and all of this stuff. I don't have you in front of me, so I have to make the assumption that you know how to tune your ukulele. George Clooney Eats Apples, and the secret to that is, let me grab a tuner. There's one right there. Way easier shape. This is not the kind of tuner you want. This is one of those $9 cheapies. It comes from Amazon. You stick it on the end. You turn them on. George. So your top string, string number 4, should sound about like that. String number 3 is your C string. It should sound about like that. String number 2 is your E string. Sound pretty close to that. And string number 1 is an A string, and it should sound about like that. Okay. Please take a minute on the website, jollyrogerukulele.com, to go to the ukulele tab. Click on ukulele, and the first 3 or 4 documents under there is how to hold the ukulele, how to tune the ukulele, what ukulele you should have bought instead of the one you did buy, and that sort of stuff. Okay, so that's it should help you get tuned up correctly. There's a tuner called a snark That's the one you want. It's got a round face. Go get the top of the line one. I think it's called SN8 or ST8 or something like that. But it's the chromatic all instrument tuner. It's $18. They are tremendous. They're absolutely wonderful. That's the one you need to own. Can you tune it with your phone? Yeah, it's not accurate, and gets it all goofed up when a dog barks down the street, but you can use that. Okay, so most of the people I know use Guitar Tuna in their apps, in their iPhone apps. I use one called G Strings because I thought that was funny. Okay, here we go. We're only going to play this string number 1. I'm going to play that, just that. Okay, when I pluck it with my thumb, open. That's a 0 on your paper. So you'll notice under ukulele melody line on your sheet music, it says 0240. Okay, so we're doing a 0, and then we're going to play a 2, and then we're going to play a 4, and then we're going to play a 0. Notice in the lyrics, I wrote open, middle, pinky, open. That's going to help you remember which fingers to use. Open, middle, pinky, open, open, middle, pinky, open. Let's do it for a while. 2, 4, 2, 4, Guys, when I'm teaching class, those of you who are going to be teaching this, I usually do this for a while, like we're doing right now, just making sure everybody's hands are sort of getting a system down. It's interesting how often people fight this in the beginning. Open, middle, pinky, open. So if you are a teacher, just be conscious that you want all of the students doing this. Now, and the truth of the matter is a lot of students are going to fight this fingering. They're going to be doing the index, middle, index, and then I see this, right? As long as they're using different fingers, it's fine. Open, ring, pinky, open. But you want open, middle, pinky, open. That's ideal, okay? 0, 2, 4, 0. Try to talk them into using the correct fingerings, the one that's listed on the paper. What we don't want is open, 2, 4, open, because they're going to cut their finger open doing that. So we want to make sure they're just using different fingers. Best to use middle and pinky, but if they're using something else, it's perfectly fine. Okay, so we get through that first line. Those of you who are new should notice that the 0240 is on the top line, okay? And there's 4 lines in there. Those represent your strings. 0240 is on the top line. You're playing it on the bottom string, and the reason is because tablature is upside down. So if you're like, I don't understand which string I'm supposed to do, just take your ukulele, hold it up to the paper, just like that, and it'll tell you, oh, this top line, this top string is 0240. Then when I put it back into playing position after banging it on the table and sending all sorts of shock waves through the microphone system, the 0240. That's how I know. Okay. Next line down, measures 3 and 4. Measures have the vertical lines up between them. And you've got 4, 5, 7. So let's do that for a while. Index, middle, pinky, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. Good cows eat apples. Oh, I like that one. 4, 5, 7. One more time. 4, 5, 7. Jennifer brings up an important point. Some of you learned good cows eat apples, and I have George Clooney eats apples. I'm bringing George Clooney back. I'm sticking with George Clooney. I'm taking George Clooney to the grave with me. He's not famous anymore, but it's way funnier to tune your ukulele to George Clooney than it is to good cows. Okay, so and my little tuning chart on the website, it assumes George Clooney, right? It teaches them about George Clooney. Okay, all right. There's 4, 5, 7. Okay, that's the next one. Next line is the hard one. 797 540. So I want to do ring on 7, pinky on 9, back to 7 with your ring, back to 5 with your middle, index on 4, and then an open. So we're at 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. And those of you with music background, already you're losing your mind because you're like, those are not eighth notes. He's playing all quarter notes. Play all quarter notes in the beginning. I promise it'll be fine. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. Okay, so now last line, measure 7 and 8. We get to do something super exciting, right? Which is we're going to play the first string open, then we're going to play the second string open, and then we're going to play the first string open. Okay, let's do it again. First string, second string, first string. Again, first string, second string, first string. Now notice I've only used my thumb on this song. I've only played with my thumb over here. I'm just making sure to press down the right fret number that I'm supposed to on the right string, and then the music will come out. Okay, a couple of just basic thoughts on that. When you're first teaching people, you know, their fingerings are going crazy, their timing is all weird. Let all of that happen. Let all of that happen. It's gonna be fine. All we're trying to do is, with this sheet of paper, is get the concept that those lines are strings, those numbers are which fret, you hold down that fret and you pluck it, and everything else is going to work out in life. Everything else in life will work out if you get that figured out. How do you get eighth notes to sound pretty and not truncated? Okay, we'll talk about that in just a sec. That's a great question, Patty. How do we get from, that's what we want, right? Sometimes we end up playing. Right, that's when we start, right? Because we're so busy yanking our fingers back off to put them back on. As we've talked about, let's just talk about it right now. That's a great question. In order to get nice, beautiful connected notes, you don't lift up a finger unless you have to. Okay, I played that note. Next note's a 9. I don't have to lift that finger up. I'm not lifting it. I do have to lift this pinky up again now. Okay, I do have to lift the ring up, and then I have to lift up the middle. But you'll notice I've got the next finger down prior to lifting up this other one. So I'm doing all the work prior to lifting up a finger. You want to never lift up a finger unless you absolutely have to. That will help bring those notes connected. A lot of students, when they're first starting, they make a note and they pull off immediately, right? Because we don't want anybody to hear us playing. We might have expectations start to show up after that. So just be very patient with saying, hey, don't do the least amount of work possible. It's one of those life lessons in music. We don't want to do anything we don't absolutely have to, because frankly, this job is going to be hard enough as it is. Okay, are we ready? What I usually do at this point is I'll assign in the classroom, one group plays measures 1 and 2, a different group plays 3 and 4, a different group plays 4 and 5 and 6, and then everybody always plays 7 and 8. Okay, so I always have not a round now. I have the first group go, then they and then the second group go, and then stop, and then the third group stop, and then everybody together plays first string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. Patty, I hope that's not as easy as your revelations come, right? Okay, now, since we're not in that situation where we can't all hear each other, okay, in one-on-one lessons, I play with them, right? And so we're going to play top to bottom. We're going to go crazy slow. Those of you with prior musical experience, get over the fact that we're going to play measures 5 and 6 at the wrong tempo, okay? Not the right, it'll be the right tempo. It will just be the wrong pacing through there, okay? Everything's a quarter note, sort of, or a half note. From the top, nice and slow, 1, 2, ready, play. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7. Notice I don't pick up my fingers. 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. Nice and slow, double time. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. And that's it. Okay. In a real classroom, you might take you the whole entire period just to do that little bit of work. Don't short that little bit of work, because if you got a new student or just your granddaughter sitting in front of you, right, really work that until she's understanding, he or she is understanding that how all of those notes, those numbers on the paper show up on the ukulele. And I don't sing the words until we're strumming, right? I sing the numbers 0 2 4 0 0 2 4 0. Those of you who think you might need to teach a song, you probably want to go ahead and memorize this one so that you're not having to look at the paper also. Okay, it's worth your time to get prepared for your first lesson. If we can get this first lesson in your head correctly, everything else is going to just be more of the same. That's what's exciting about this. Okay, so then I tell them, well, there's a problem, right? Measures 5 and 6 are supposed to be twice as fast as we played them. That's the hard part, and they're aware. 7 9 7 5 4 0. That's the part that they're sad about. Okay, so then that's their homework. That's the homework part of the class. I say, now I'm going to play you Frère, Jacques at full speed so you can hear what you want to come back to next class ready to play. Okay, would you label ukulele for young students with sharps? Yes. I don't, because I'm teaching tablature, Jennifer, we don't care about sharps and flats. So I don't label them here. If, however, you know for sure that you're going to be teaching the standard notation as well, then I would talk about it, but certainly not on the first day. I would make sure they're playing a song fairly well before you go back in and talk about where the sharps are, where the flats are, what are whole notes, and start teaching them the piano fretboard or keyboard. All that stuff I think can wait. I think right now we're just trying to get a melody out of there. And once we get the melody, then we can start to relate how the numbers relate to the piano keyboard, and how that piano keyboard then relates to standard notation. I think in a couple weeks in Monday night class, I'm going to do a standard notation discussion and a workshop on how I would teach standard notation if I was teaching, kids or even somebody who just had interest in that. I don't think it's necessary to be overly focused in on that right off the bat. Obviously, we want all students to have some basic understanding of standard notation, but not yet. Okay, get them playing the melody first. Okay, I hope I answered your question, Jennifer. All right, last thing I do is, well, there's two last things. One is I want to teach them how fast the song should be, so I'm going to play it for you. And some of you will play along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 2 4 0 0 2 4 0 4 5 7 4 5 7. Full speed. 7 9 7 5 4 0 7 9 7 5 4 0. First string, second string, first string, second string, first string. When I am teaching in a group class, that's their homework. Come back with that ready to go. And about half of them actually do come back with that ready to go. Okay, so that's usually homework assignment. Get this song up to speed. What happens very often is, especially with little kids, they'll come back with the song memorized, right? And that's exciting. Okay, because that, not only that, but that means they can teach it to some of their friends too, right? And the burden of you having to do Frère, Jacques every single day of your life starts to go down, right? Next thing is we talk about the A chord, how to make an A chord. Here's your fretboard. Okay, you're going to put your middle finger first fret, third string, and your middle finger second fret, fourth string. Okay, going to leave the bottom two strings open. Make sure my thumb is right behind where my middle finger is. I can't see the thumb from in front. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I go do it to check every student in class. Okay, I'm checking yours right now. Okay, then we got this here. We're going to strum all of the strings. 1, 2, just like this. Just use your thumb. Okay, I'm strumming where the neck and the body come together because that's prettiest. Okay, if I strum down here, get a different kind of sound up here. It's soft and pretty. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, ready, play. Frère, Jacques, Frère, Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous. Sonnez les matines, ding, dang, dong. ding, ding, dong. Okay. That's it. So then I strum and sing that with them. And in my community classes, it's about 80% of the people don't want to sing and 20% do want to sing. I think we still owe it to everybody to teach them both. You don't have to be a great singer, but you do kind of have to be able to at least belt that one out just a little bit. So I think being able to play the A chord, being able to sing through the song, sometimes I sing it in English first and then I say, all right, let's go to France. And then I sing the French version, stupid stuff like that. And that's it. That's enough for the first lesson. Okay. Here's what your takeaway should be. Number one, I'm going to pluck the melody out using only this one string. And then at the very end, I got to use the second string, right? And I want to do that at full speed by the time we come back tomorrow in this class, right? You want to be able to play that at full speed. If you can do it without the sheet music, that's really, really top notch. And then we're also going to sing the song tomorrow doing this. Okay. So tomorrow you'll have a new song that we're going to work on, but we're going to start by making sure everything makes sense on this piece of paper. I will tell you, and I'm a psycho about this piece of paper, it is important. This one piece of music is going to teach you almost everything you need to know about playing ukulele. There are 2 or 3 little other things we got to know, but for the most part, if you can get a melody out and you can get a chord out, you are most of the way toward becoming a really fine ukulele player. So motivation for you tonight, get where you can play Frère Jacques in your sleep, when you can get the melody out using just one string at a time, and then when you can get the chords out singing and strumming. Okay. Tomorrow, I can't ever remember what the order of these things are. Let me just double check. Tomorrow, we dig into Soft Kitty, which is where we will grab 2 chords and we'll put those together, but we'll still be picking out the exact same melody lines. Okay. So we'll use more strings and more frets. No, we actually use less frets, but more strings on that song. So that's what we'll be working on tomorrow, but we will start with reviewing Frère Jacques. Okay. And that is how I generally teach the first Frère Jacques. I always tell people, if you'll stick with me for 15 minutes, I will have you playing ukulele at a higher level than 90% of the ukulele players will ever get to. And they just aren't willing to learn how to read tablature. They like singing. They don't want to go that extra mile to actually do the work, right? Okay. That's it. That was always a little bit over my 30-minute allotment for the new member stuff, but it's that important. Okay. So you should know how to tune it, how to hold it, what to do with that left-hand thumb, right? And so I don't come and freak out. By the way, when students are playing in my class and their thumb gets up here, all I do is I walk by and I tap their thumb. And they're like, oh, sorry. And they know what that means. Hey, what's going on with this thumb here? The other thing to be mindful of when you're teaching little kids, their thumb will end up down here because they're putting the ukulele fretboard in their entire hand. And you see what they're up to. This is not a strong muscle yet, right? So playing it like this kind of hurts, right? So little kids are smart. They're just like, well, I'll just put my thumb down here. It's not up here, right? And so don't let them do that. And certainly don't let them be anchoring the whole neck into their thumb right there, because it just makes your life way harder. And so, yeah, in the beginning, we got to build this muscle up right here. And that involves making sure that posture is great. We don't talk about posture in ukulele very much, but there are a couple things that really do matter. Your thumb, and then getting this system here. Playing like this is just going to make your life harder. You see it all over YouTube. It's just terrible. It's students who weren't taught properly. They were probably taught by an electric guitar player or nobody, more likely. Frère Jacques, that's your homework. All right. All right, guys, let's move on to tomorrow. You think things are going to get better, right? You're like, oh, I can't listen to him talk about Frère Jacques. I don't understand why he's so excited. Well, fine, let's go play tomorrow and see if you like that better. The sun will come out. Where is it? Tomorrow. A couple things on the week. Tonight, we're going to do duets. So you want to come in ready with that little booklet with the A, D, and E. I'm going to be double checking that those of you who are newer are playing A, D, and E7. I'm going to be checking that those of you who've been around a while are playing A, D, and E7. Okay. We're going to be talking about how to do that as a duet. We're then going to take all of the sheet music we've sort of been just fussing around with over the last few weeks, and we're going to play through that. And I'm going to play one way, and you're going to play a different way. And we're going to play duets together most of the night tonight. Just give you a sense of how, if you have a friend, you're a ukulele player, so you might not have any, but if you did get a friend, how would you go about getting them up and running and playing with you so that you can make some things? Lindy talked about just a little bit ago getting her two granddaughters together. Everybody's playing their own thing, doing a little bit of their part. If they're little kids and they're just strumming the chords, that's fabulous. You play the melody. It's so fun. I happen to have a little orchestra that I get to conduct, and that's basically what we're doing there. Some people get melody, some people get chords, some people get arpeggios, some people get a bass, right? We got some baritone players in there. They're usually doing a couple of different things. You bring all that together, and suddenly you've got something really special, and that's a lot of fun. So that's what we're going to work on a little bit tonight. Okay. So, and for some of you, that's tomorrow, right? But it's 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time tonight, and we'll have Global Institute. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing Soft Kitty for the newer members. And for those of you who need to teach, right, tune in and pay attention to that stuff. And then Sunrise Sunset from Fiddler on the Roof. I just about have it finished. I'll get it posted here pretty tonight, right? And then, so that's where we're headed. We're wrapping up our week of Broadway this week. I'm looking pretty hard at Beethoven again for next week. I haven't quite figured out, I haven't made a final decision on the tune. I got a couple done that I like. And so we will probably do another Beethoven week next week, probably. Okay. All right, let's go on to tomorrow. Okay. Let's talk about the chords. I tried this in all the different keys, guys. I really did. There's no key that it works out great in. So we'll just, this was the one that seemed to be the least annoying. How about that? Okay. A chord, make sure you got his. Done. Valerie. I know, Valerie's been leaning on me. She's tough. Okay, there's your A chord. The sun will come out tomorrow. Okay, and you're going to do D major 7, bar on 2, ring on 4. By the way, if you're brand new, like if Frère Jacques was plenty for you, it's okay to eject at this point, right? It's absolutely fine. Okay, but if you want to see where you're going to head at, and a lot of these guys, right, a lot of this crew over here started with me with Frère Jacques just a few months ago. Some of them last month, right? And now we're playing this kind of stuff, which is really impressive. Okay, there's your D major. C sharp minor 7th is just a bar on 4. Isn't that beautiful? Dollar that 2, and then you got F sharp minor. It's a G7 on the wrong string. So here's G7. There is F sharp minor. Okay. Tomorrow there'll be, and back to your D minor 7, sun, and then an E7. Again, that's just a transitional chord to go back into the main idea, which repeats chord for chord through that next section. Then let's go to measure 9. On measure 9, A minor. Okay. And then you got A minor 7. That's everybody's favorite chord. Just wide open. Okay. Doesn't sound like that. It's not that great of a chord on ukulele. And so sometimes when I find it showing up in songs, I try to put something a little more interesting in there, but I let this one go. All right. Page 2, got an F. Okay. And remember the big difference between an A, which is on the 3rd string, and F on the 2nd string. Okay. If you play one rather than the other, it will sound funny. Okay. Then you go to a G chord. Guys, those of you who are newer, make sure your index finger's on the 3rd string, middle finger on the bottom string, ring finger on the outer string, 2nd string. Those of you who are teachers, please know when you get a kid in proper position or get anybody in proper position and it comes to their first G, they're going to do the index, middle, ring. It is super comfy. Okay, but you can't let them do it. You can't let them do it because it's going to mess them up down the road. So index finger on top, middle finger, and ring. Okay, and I'd say 30% of my students end up doing that G chord, and then I got to talk them out of it. Okay, I don't know if Brandon logged in today, but he admitted he was one of those guys, right? Okay, so get your G chord done correctly. Measure 11 is a C chord. Okay, measure 11 then modulates to a C major 7, which I love. Okay, and then we're going to go to an E chord on 12. Normally I would put an E7 in here, but this actually works out pretty nice with the melody. So I just bar on 4, pinky on 7. Okay, there's that one. And then we go back mostly to the same idea as the beginning of the song. You got an A chord. The sun will come out tomorrow, so you've got to hang on till tomorrow. Come what? Now on the chord line, you get this chord, dun dun dun. May minus, it's correct, but it doesn't. I don't like the way it overall sounds. Come what may. Okay. The one you're going to want to study a little bit more carefully is the one down underneath the tough uke line. I went ahead and tossed it in there. You know, plain old B flat, right there. That's the one that's going to end up sounding better there. But this one for open players, it creates kind of a. This is much more major 70 than this plain old B flat. Okay, it just is not going to work out well with the melody. Then you got an E7 and an A. Measure 18, you've got an A7, that's the index finger here. Okay, and then measure 18 and a half, you got a D chord. Okay, and those of you who are newer, this is how you know if you have the right ukulele. I do not have the right ukulele in my hand, and that's why my fingers here are kind of jammed up tight against each other. If you are a grown adult with normal size hands, you should be playing a tenor. Okay, if your fingers are a little bit shorter, you should be playing a concert. If you're a little kid, or I've had a few grandmas come in, and I'm not being ageist or sexist. That's just who's bought them. But by sopranos, little hands, and that's just was the biggest size that their hands would work on. And so we occasionally somebody with very very small hands will get a soprano, but mostly you should be playing a tenor probably. Okay, I know it's the extra $30 on Amazon. Okay, by the way, under that D chord at the middle of 18, okay, that's what you're going to strum if you're strumming and singing. But what you're really going to play when we get to the tough uke is 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what we're really making is a D chord here. You know how you got B flat, C, D. Okay, but we don't need to hold the first string down. So it's 5, 6, 7, and then your pinky is going to end up on the 7 as well. That's what's going to happen there. Okay, so that's going to be tomorrow. Okay, everything else is a repeat. So those are your chords. Okay, those of you who sing, I'm not going to sing because you know what's going to happen. It's going to be pretty awful. But those are the chords you got to be thinking about. Hey, do I like this song? Or those are chords I can handle and I can tackle? Give them a try. Okay, I played through it enough to know that they work. But I'm not. It's just I don't know. It's I don't think of it as. It feels a lot more complex than it needs to be. Let me put it that way. Okay, let's talk about the melody. Okay, let's run through that. Okay, and those of you who just learned Frère, Jacques, this is what you're doing, next level. Okay, so let's play through that. You're gonna play with me. Right now you're thinking, am I gonna play the chords or am I gonna play the melody? Either way, we're gonna end up playing a duet together, right? And so you're thinking, all right, if Gary plays the melody, I'm gonna play the chords. Don't think necessarily like that. If Gary's gonna play the melody, I'm gonna try to play it note for note with him. That's also a duet, okay? It's just a really boring duet. Okay, from the top, I'm gonna count in 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna go. 1, 2, 3. The sun'll come out tomorrow. Rest. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow, long breast, there'll be sun. Rest. Just thinking about tomorrow. Clear away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. 2, 3. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and cloudy, lonely, sorry, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, okay, that's your hard part. Come back into the normal part. The sun'll come. Whoops, I got the wrong frets. Let me start again. From there, 1, 2, 3. The sun'll come out tomorrow. Rest. So you've got to hang on till tomorrow. Come what may. Okay, and that gets real high, right? Tomorrow. Where's my 9? Love you. Tomorrow. You're only a day away. Okay, then you go through some rest and repeat it. Okay, the fingering there is going to need some attention. So tonight, if you're thinking, yep, I'm definitely going to be playing the melody on Friday because I've seen the chords and I'm not going to be successful, so I'm going to be a melody player on Friday. You're probably going to need to spend a little bit of time really deciding what your fingering is going to be because it's all over that first string in the measures, 15 on. It's just all over the place, and it's really hard to look at the paper and hear. And so just be mindful to spend a little bit of time picking your fingering and making decisions about what you're going to be playing through there. Pretty tough going. You could tell I was fighting it the whole way through. When we get to the end of 21, we're going to go back and play the whole song over again. Okay. Except when you come back through the second time, you're going to get to 18 and you're going to skip down to 19. The only reason I put a different ending on it was because at the end, in my recollection of the song, she goes way up high at the end. Only a day away, right? She goes way up high on that. And so that's what I gave you on the ukulele line as well. So if you go to 22, go to start there. It's 54077. Only a day away. That's what how we're gonna finish it up. And I'm reading her mind. I've got little sensors here on this other computer behind here, and it just shows you how, what your mental state is while you're going through this stuff. Some of you are a mess right now. All right, so that's the melody. Okay, something we should talk about very briefly. Notice measure 1. Okay, I'm giving you 16th notes. Okay, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow. So is that how it goes? Yeah. 16th notes. Here's the truth about 16th notes. Those of you guys that are thinking about writing some music, thinking about arranging, grabbing some piece of sheet music and typing it into a program. Ukulele players cannot play 16th notes unless the tempo is noticeably below 80. Okay, and this song it's at 72. So I went ahead and just because it kind of helps you save space a little bit in pages and all this, you'll use 16th notes, and everything is a little bit more compact and tight. But if you get a piece of sheet music, it was very common in classical music, even guitar classical music, where things will be down to 30-second notes. We have a couple flautists with us, right? They're very comfy with 16th notes because you can knock those things out more quickly. On ukulele, you just really can't. If that tempo gets above 80, you're not going to be successful. And I have probably the group of more advanced players that meets here from time to time. It turns out when you're an advanced musician, you kind of get a little ego that goes along with that. You may have noticed. And when you get to going at those, when you get that kind of I can play anything attitude, you think you can play 16th notes at that speed, and it can't be done. And I've listened to them, and we've worked through it, and we've tried different methods, and the way we teach ukulele and the way we play it, they're just really not possible unless the tempo of the whole song is down to a rational amount, and then you can get them in. And so just be mindful when you're reading a piece of sheet music, and it's supposed to be clicking right along, and and then all of a sudden 16th or 30 seconds or super fast notes show up. Just know you're going to have to simplify that as a ukulele player because you're just not going to be successful with it, probably. Okay. Now, because the tempo is slow, we should be able to take this at a little bit slower pace. Let's walk through the tough probably, we're running tight on time today, so we may or may not get to actually play the whole song, but let's talk about every moment in the tough uke line. Those of you who are newer, I want you working on melody. That's that the line that says ukulele melody. That's all I care about. If you're brand new, that's all you should work about on, and you probably should not even be working on a song this complex yet. But we got to get. That's what we got to get you doing. Once your hands will pluck out a melody, you're worth saving. Okay, anybody can. And the chord business is. We'll have a whole discussion about why I don't like teaching chords first, but playing melody is what's going to matter, because down the road you're going to want to get a melody and chords out of this at the same time, and that's what we're about to talk about. This is the top level. Okay, first note 0. I like this song already. Okay, you're grabbing your A chord, hitting 2 strings. Sun. You got to go real fast. Okay, these are 16th notes, so I'm probably going to slide my index finger up. Sun'll come out, strum. Remember, 4s are pinky. Don't talk yourself into doing a ring down there. It's going to be bad. Okay. 2. And then I'm going to pull this back to a 2. Probably use my ring. Tomorrow. Okay. That's fast. That's going to take a lot of skill just to get through that one measure. Okay. Make sure your pinky is on 4 and probably slide your index finger up for that second 2. That's what you're after. Okay. D chord. It says a D major 7th. Okay. That's probably better to grab that right off the bat. Strum. Betcher. That's again got to be fast. Betcher. And then you're going to get a full D on here. So since you know that D is coming, you may want to make that 4 with your pinky here. Hold a D chord and put your pinky there, right? Let's try that. Bet your bottom. Okay, this is the one that's been talked about quite a bit. There's 112 and 114 that are coming up. 112. You're sitting here on that D chord. Just slide these 2 guys back. Okay, and then you get this nice C sharp minor 7th sound. Dollar. Pinky on 4, guys. 114. That. Luckily, it's an 8th note. You're not hanging around on it too long. You'll probably maybe pluck it. That. Tomorrow, and then strum in your chord. There'll be, okay, and I'm just adding my 2 on here. So I got the F sharp minor, adding the 2. Okay, nice. And then back to your D chord. Sun. Extra note just for pretty while you're getting your A chord on, and then we're going to do the whole idea again. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow. Till there's none. Extra note. E7. Okay, so it's kind of tough going. If on that 114, if you hate that, and I hate it a little bit, okay, 1, 1, and 4. I'm using 3 fingers. I'm not borrowing anything because I've got to leave this open. If you hate that, just play the 4, right? You don't need to play the whole chord. It's not going to be that important. Okay, just grab the 4 and move on. Okay. Here again, this is one of those places where the quality of your ukulele starts to show up. Like, this is a $70 ukulele. It's not a good ukulele. And when I play, on this 4 on that string, it goes clank, right? It just doesn't sound that great, And so you'll find the better quality ukuleles give you a better tonality through there. All right. Now, when I'm stuck with a day that's gray. Now, you see all those 16th notes. You can't really play those, so do the best you can, right? And you notice I simplify the arrangement. When I'm stuck in a, right, just as fast as you can go through there. When I'm stuck with the day. Okay, and then you're back to life as normal. Day. That's a C chord instead of an A minor 7. Gray. And page 2. Let's go with your F chord with your 3. We've done this a lot. F chord, 3 on the top. Cloud, lonely. while your pinky's on 5, don't let it up. Go grab your G chord. That's what Patty was talking about earlier. How do I keep this? How do I make these notes sound more connected? Just leave that hanging out while you go grab your G chord, then lose it. Chord. I'm just stuck. Roll your ring finger down. Out my, and then all the way up to 7. Chin. Oh, you're going to need to put your ring finger there, right? Because you're going to have to use your pinky on 8. So chin and grin and this is where your bar goes down on 4. You're still holding your other notes. Say. Notice this came over to hold that bar down just in case. Say. So, a couple of decorative notes, okay, and then go back down to the 2. The sun'll come out tomorrow. D chord. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow. And I just did not do the 114. I just stuck the 4 in there. Nobody came and arrested me. It's fine. Just play the 4 by itself, and then that simplifies that situation, right? And then I drop in my F sharp minor chords again. Put the 2 on. Come what? And here's that big old B flat chord. May. Okay, so you can just feel the whole song lift up. That's not the chord we expect there. That's why Broadway writers are on Broadway and we're hanging out here on a computer, right? They know when to do something crazy, and this is this moment where you're lifting that song up, May, and then slide it back to your 4s. Tomorrow. I can't sing. Let me get the E chord on. 2 up to 9. Tomorrow. I love you too. That's tough going there, guys. We'll have to play around with different things. I'm almost suspecting that I'm going to end up using, and you know how I say, this is always your bar no matter what, blah, blah, blah. You've heard me say that before. I bet you I'm going to end up using a middle finger for the bar in order to get down to those 7s, probably. Okay, so be messing around with that. It may work out that way. Am I over time? Oh, I got 2 minutes. Okay. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow. Let's go to measure 18. Finish it up. Okay, so grab your 9s. Try it with your middle finger and see what happens. Love you. Go grab your 5, 2, and here's that crazy D. 5, 6, 7, 7. All right, so I'm putting on 5, 6, 7, adding my 7. Tomorrow, your A chord with your pinky on 5. I know a lot of you guys hate that one, right? And if you hate this one a whole lot, you got to start doing your finger stretches. Okay. If you hate that one a lot, just make sure you get the 5, and you can even hit the bottom 2 strings. Oh, but you want the A chord there. That'd be better. Okay. Only switch to E7 day. Back to A chord. Way 1, 2, 2, E7, 2, and then we go back to the beginning of the song. Sun will come out. Okay, come all the way back down, play it through. Go with me to measure 22. 22. Okay, let's finish. Second time around, we'll skip at 19, put a yellow highlighter at the beginning of 19. Okay, and that way you will remember on the second time, just jump down to 22. A chord with your pinky. Only here's that crazy D chord again. 5, 6, 7, add a 7. Day away 1, 0, and then that fancy A chord we're going to use tonight. Okay, to wrap it up. Okay, so I was pretty sure I wasn't going to have time to play through the whole thing today. So what I'd like for you guys to do, work on it. If something is coming up where it's like, that just doesn't make any sense, let me know. But I think I finished this up last night, and I played through it I always play through it a half a dozen times, and I felt like it's pretty close, right? It's pretty decent piece of music. You should be able to get something out of that. And there you go. Jennifer, understand the finger sequencing much better. Yeah, right. Whenever we get new tablature, right, the first thing you do is, I don't know what the heck. It's nice to have the guy who arranged it go through and sort of show you what I'm thinking at any given moment. And remember, guys, you're in charge of the music. If there's something in a piece of paper that doesn't seem right, figure out what you want to do. I get emails pretty regularly from somebody saying, hey, I'm going to try. It sounds better if I do this other thing other than what you wrote down. Is that okay? Heck yeah, that's okay. You should absolutely be taking the music and wrangling it. If you're a flautist and you're in the Berlin Philharmonic and you're going to play Beethoven, they probably don't want your creative interpretation of what notes you want to play. They probably want you to play what's on the paper. But if you're a ukulele player, the paper is a starting point, right? Gary says I should do this. I don't like this chord. I'm going to change that. I'm going to make this. I'm going to adjust this. Pretty soon you have your version of tomorrow. Yours is wrong, of course, because mine is right, but it doesn't matter, right? You're going to sound better if you've taken command of the music and it's playing it the way you want to play it. So, all right. Had to rush a little bit today, guys, and tomorrow we'll probably be rushing again. Tomorrow we got Fiddler on the Roof. Tomorrow we got Soft Kitty, and then don't forget tonight we got duets and finishing up bar chord class. So it should be fun. You should learn a lot, I hope, if I'm making any sense tonight. All right, that's it. Jennifer says thanks. Yeah, have a great night, Jennifer. Thank you for being here. Lindy, I'm so excited that you had a duet with your grandkids. First of all, I didn't know you were old enough to have grandkids. Kat, I think you ever had fun, although no sun here today. I know, right? You live in Texarkana. You're supposed to have sun every single day. All right. Pauline, it's tough, but it sounds good. It is a tough one, guys. I always want these songs to be just easy as pie, but unfortunately when you're doing Broadway, the guys who write Broadway musicals are legit, and they're going to put in a lot of stuff that's going to give us a lot of challenge. And so this is high level work. Know that it is okay. Measure 22, 6/4. I got those backwards, don't I? It should be 4/5/6. Yep, yep, you're absolutely right. It should be 4/5/6. So it should be 6/5/4/7. No, that's a typo. Okay, good job. Good eye, Renee. So measure 22. The second one should be 7, 6, 5, 7. Yep, that's a typo. I'll fix that and then get it posted back up on the site. Okay, good eye. Way to go. Fran, I can do 114 now if I bar the first fret. Guess it'll take practice from me. Yeah, and in this case, you can bar that first fret because you're not going to play the first string, right? So you could do that. And I'm going to use 2 fingers and my pinky, but a bar, it absolutely could happen in that situation. Absolutely. Sandy, see you tonight. Have a great day. Bruce, did I hear you in Bozeman or Billings? I think you said Billings. It's pretty close to Bozeman. The Bosemans are here and the Billings are here. We got Montana covered for ukulele. Good to see you, Bruce. Tell Cheryl hi. Kathy, so glad you joined us today. Hopefully something I said made sense. Kathy is another music teacher who helps me. She's like, Gary, what you're doing is just ridiculous. Stop doing that. So I'm always delighted to see Kathy. She has never said, Gary, what you're doing is ridiculous, but that's probably what's in her head. Thanks, Kathy. Phyllis, starting to come together. See you tonight. Yeah, right. That's one of these things. When you get the paper and it's like the first few times through, you're like, I don't know what he's talking about. Billings. Okay. And Bruce, hope to be here tonight. Yeah, guys, try to make it in tonight. We're going to have a fun time. We'll sing a lot. We'll sing a little. Ugh, me singing. It's always brutal. But we'll do a whole bunch of nice music tonight. And, you might go double check the list because it's pretty extensive. So go make sure you have everything printed. Have a lot of great ideas. I know, Kathy, you're very diplomatic. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. Guys, go off and take care of yourselves. We always try to avoid talking about what's going on, but what's going on is terrible. So stay inside and for goodness sake, wear a mask. I love you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you tonight or tomorrow. End of the stream.